Wow. All right.
3 1-star books. That's a lot of
No.
1-star books.
Ooh, yeah.
That's sad.
Hey, everybody. Wow, we got a lot of people joining
Hello.
today. Make sure it pops up on here. Yay. Okay. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming to these like pop-up sprints. But I had like planned to throw up random sprints, but I didn't want to have stuff happening every single day. So I left this day open. And then I was like, yeah, I want to read with everybody. So thanks for joining. And I know it's like early enough in the day that some people across the pond can hop in too. So I'd asked everyone before you guys got here, I asked everyone what has been their favorite read so far. So you guys can tell me that as well, but I'm going to put up some of these. 4 DNFs. No favorite.
Ooh, yeah.
Brutal Fouls, great. Love it.
I wish I could reread that one for this readathon.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I almost want to reread it. It was so good.
Yeah, literally. This stack is my books for my patrons, and 2 of them picked Brutal Vows. Someone picked Brutal Prince and Manipulate. Those are the books that I get to annotate. So I was like, oh, shucks. Darn. So I literally was like, wow, you guys are being really nice to me for this first month. So
all these great books to annotate.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, shucks. I'm so upset about it. Savage Hearts and Ruthless Stranger. Going to continue to Broken Vows. Oh, you were saying Brutal Vows, right, Monica?
Love Broken Vows. Broken Vows is the Sophie Lark one, right?
Yep.
And Brutal Vows.
It's totally
so many similar ones.
Yeah. Well, literally, like, there's Vicious Prince and there's Brutal Prince, and then there's Cruel Prince is like a YA one, but there also is a Mafia one called that. Like, they're all, the names are similar. I mean, I read Brutal Prince, but if I'm picking a new one, Ruthless Creatures. Yeah. Although Mafia Mistress and Mafia Darling. Yes.
I still have that one to read. I still have that one. That's my next one. After I finish A Bullet Between Us, which is what I'm reading right now, I'm going to Mafia Mistress, and I have Mafia Darling on my Kindle as well. So
have it ready to go.
I have it ready to go. It's loaded and ready.
Tiffany just finished it. And I was like, what did I say, Tiffany? Was the second one not better? She's
Mafia
like,
Darling is just, it is a cut above. I was not expecting all of that. Jen prepared me, but actually reading it and seeing, it was everything. That's my favorite so far that I've read.
I was trashing the first one. I was being pretty mean about it. To all my friends, I was like, why do people like this book? I don't understand. And then I read the next one and I was like, so forget that I said I didn't like it because I want you to read it now. All right.
I take it back.
I'm sorry. I retreat. But yeah, I'm really glad that people are feeling it. You're not done yet, but Mafia Mistress. Cool. Stacy, you're still on your first book. That's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Almost done with Savage Hearts.
Yes.
Love.
Filthy Hot.
I want to get into Brutal Vows as an extra book. Sweet. Love it. Fortunately, not loving the books I actually put on my TBR, but I'm hoping that'll turn around. Yeah, you still got today and tomorrow if you get lucky. I've read 1-star read so far. Woof. But I'm halfway through my current read, Savage by Michelle St. James, and I think it's going to be 4 or 5. Sweet.
Cool.
I'm ready that one.
Mayor.
I pulled into Collateral by Natasha Knight more than... Oh, I was pulled into... Got it. And also enjoyed Owned by Maya Gray.
I'm going to try that now.
Both ending cliffhangers. Nice.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine with me if the next one is ready to go. But I've only read Owned by the Batman. Yeah, I saw that one, Tiana, and that series was weird for me. That one's by Haley Feynman, who did she did this series that I love so much, the Sisters.
Oh yeah.
I really
remember that
this series. But I tried her Mafia, and they're extremely brutal ones. Everybody gets raped, everybody gets taken prisoner at one point in the book, and then it was just a lot. It was what Crystal calls the kitchen sink level of trauma. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I made it through 3 of her books, and after the third one was 3 stars, I was like, why am I still going? I should stop now. Because there's 11 books in that series. She really...
What?
Yeah.
But I've read other books by her and liked them. And then, like, I read one age gap by her I really liked. That was a really big age gap. It was a 35-year age gap. And, like, I liked it.
That's an age gap.
Warda. Yes, Warda was sounding off about this in my Discord today. And I was like, I love seeing it. Love seeing it. I just finished 3 and started my 4th this afternoon. I'm obsessed with Mafia now. Well, welcome to the You are with the right people. That is for sure. Love it. Oh, you missed yesterday. Got it, Stacy. That makes sense. Empire Sin. So I saw this, Daniela, and I thought it was interesting because the other ones aren't Mafia, but this one is, because I think it's the daughter of someone who marries someone in the Mafia. Because I'm currently reading Empire of Desire because it was a viewer recommendation. And that one doesn't have anything to do with Mafia. It's like a billionaire, and it's a dad's best friend book. But I saw you put this on your TBR for Mafia, so I will have to... I mean, I'm going to get to that book because I'm going to read the series. But reading Brutal Vows, love it. Meg immediately started Mafia Darling, love it. I read Brutal Vows, Taken by a Sinner, and Owned by a Sinner. Nice. I've been commanded by Cheyenne that even if I don't love Taken by a Sinner, that I have to read the next one. So,
okay.
Eventually. She demanded me to, so I was like, Savage is outside the Mafia, and it's at London. Cool. Yeah, you're going to be ready to read it. I know, Melissa. It's epic, man.
Right? I'm like, Mafia Mistress. I knew I was going to like go into the next one, but I was just like, come on. Yes, I'm reading both Mafia Mistress. Yeah.
I was laughing at Jessica yesterday because she hasn't read the second one yet. Like, she's going to, but she still loved the first one so much. So I laughed. I was like, but you haven't read the second one yet after that cliffhanger?
I know.
I was like, how? I had to do it right away. So I was going to read Mafia Mistress as my 3rd book, but I'd really want to read Mafia Darling, so I'm waiting. Fair enough. I know the audio just came out for Mafia Mistress too, so that's
what?
Yeah. Yep. But not the second one, so just the first one. She's a daughter of a pecan. Okay. And the businessman, right? Because I think Empire of whichever one you said, Sin or Ruin, whichever one you said, it's the dad of the girl from the first one. Because that's a dad's best friend. And I think it's the dad in that one. And then she must be she's a daughter of a mafia. Interesting.
Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, let's see if he's tough enough to stand up to a pecan. Like, that seems... Machiavellian by Bella de Court. I have seen that one around a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna write it.
That one has a really cool, he has a really intense gaze in that one.
Yeah, I had that one on my Kindle a couple of times, but never actually read it. But I love the cover, so.
Yeah. But yeah, like I shared, I'm reading this one, everybody. I'm almost done. Like, I'll probably finish it in the first sprint for sure. So that's what I'm starting with. This is my 4th book, and I also haven't really had a favorite. Nothing like Keep, the one I was reading last night during the live sprints, went way off the rails in literally 40 pages left. Just
blew everything up.
Yeah. We found out she was pregnant, which was fine. I don't mind the babies. That wasn't even the drama. The drama is her ex comes back, attacks her, causes her to go into emergency labor, and then baby's in the NICU, and then they don't sure if the other person loves them anymore. I was like, what is happening in this 180-page book?
I'm sorry.
I know. And I was like, I don't know. I was sad about it. So, it's about Knox. Well, okay. Which one has Kingsley in it then, Daniela? Because one of them has the dad in it.
180 pages.
So, there's a lot more books in that series than I was prepared for. So, just finished Toxic, and I loved it. Yeah, Immortal. Immoral comes out next week already. Next Friday.
I don't know how she does it. Like, she is prolific. And I'm so excited, like,
Yeah.
about.
Well, she had those ones, like, she was 3.5 books in before these started releasing, which is what she did with the last series too. I am not diminishing the fact that she still fucking wrote all of them. But I mean, like, that's how she does her sequential releases, because she gets so far in before she starts releasing them. But yeah, so I was gonna comment on this. So I'm glad to hear you liked the voice, Melissa, because I listened to the sample and he sounded like he was 60 years old. Like, I know he's like 39 or 40 or whatever, or in his 40s. But the voice for him, to me, in the sample, sounded like he was a grandpa, and I didn't know how I felt about that. But if you liked it, interesting.
And Fausto, oh God.
Yeah, Papino.
Papino is sexy, papi.
He sure is. You've read the first 2 Brutal Birth, right? I was expecting to like them more. Oh, well, that's okay. They are extremely hyped, so it's difficult for books to meet expectations when everyone loves those books to some degree. Like, I haven't heard people flat out dislike them, but.
And I will say there is a book for everyone in that series. So, you know, you just kind of keep going until one hits, but I totally get that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody has different favorites. Toxic was your first book. Yeah, love it. Love it. That book was a ride for sure. Love it. So, Tiffany, because I haven't watched your vlog yet, but you read Brutal Vows on the trip, right? That's in your vlog?
Yeah, Maui. That's the second book that I read.
Because I know that you were going to read it, but I just wanted to know if it's your favorite.
Yes, it's my favorite. She's now, Raina is now one of my favorite heroines. It edged out Carnal Urges for me.
I know.
From the very beginning, because she's telegraphing so much. But yes, I absolutely love Brutal Vows. I think it was a great season ender, and it's my favorite. Like, hands down. Hands down. It was everything.
Yeah. I was surprised too. But nothing will quite top the reading experience I had with Carnal Urges the first time. Like, the experience of reading it was so amazing. Like, Brutal Vows, I was literally reading it during my, like, depression weekend.
Right.
Where I was like, wow, my job's over. What's going on? So it was, like, my happy thing to read. And that last, like, the tipping point in that book, just, I was like, wow, okay. It's like that. It's the TikTok where it's like, that's enough slices. Keeps going. So we'll see, like, how I feel after some more rereads. And when I listen to the audiobook is always what cements those books for me, because the audiobooks
are fantastic. I love them.
So I'm very excited to hear the voice of Raina and, like, hear them together.
And I'm very picky about my audiobooks too, so I can't wait to see that as well, because I like a performance.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So I definitely want to, like, experience that. But because right now, like, I literally, like, I love Carnal Urges so much that there's also just the, like, it was my favorite book last year. So it's like up here for me, because it literally is my favorite book last year. But I do love Brutal Vows so much that I think it will just come with time, and then I'll be able to decide which is my favorite. But
I still think Carnal Urges is probably still going to be my favorite, even though I love Brutal Vows, Savage Hearts, and Carnal Urges, like, so much. And all of them are, like,
they're so
top tier books. The whole series is, like, just a really great, solid series. But I don't know. There was something about Carnal Urges. I wasn't expecting that dynamic. And it was just like, I was so surprised and caught off guard by the response between Sloane. And I was just like, I wasn't not expecting that type of dynamic. So it lives in my mind rent free all the time.
Oh, yeah.
She even shines in Brutal Vows though, too. Like,
oh my God, I know. But see, that's kind of like, that's where I sit, because, like, Sloane even, like, tips the crown to her too. Like, that's what I feel like, because even, like, Sloane sees her and is like, this chick, like this lady, she's there, you know, and I'm like, she's got like the nod from her too. I like that. So, but that's what I mean. Like, it's going to take time. Like, my gut instinct will still always be like it's carnal urges right now, but I find myself thinking about Brutal Vows like just as much, especially like the role play in that book and
the
like
praise
night in that the wedding night in that one is what's rent free for me right now. Like, I can't get over him. I just can't get over him. It makes me so bad.
I was wrecked. That wedding night is everything.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just really, it's such a good series. Like, there's no need to actually pick a favorite one. Like, I don't have to, but like, I feel like I do need to. So anyway, all right. Well, oh my gosh, yes, girl.
Yes, the praise. I didn't say it in my vlog because I was trying so hard because I have a tendency to get really excited and then I just spill and I was like, okay, this just came out. Like, I got the book because of you. You posted it on Instagram and you're like, the paperbacks are out. So I ordered that thing so quick and got it sent to my brothers before I left for Maui. And I had no idea what I was going to be dealing with in terms of Reina until I read the back of the book. Because I don't need to read the back if it's JT. I'm just going to read it. So, but oh my God.
Well, you open it and you see who the POV character is. And I was like, but that's not the name of the person. I'm very confused. Well, and all the others are age gap too. So you're just like expecting it. Well, is the first one is too. It's just not as. So you're like expecting it. And then it's like, oh, anyway. Okay, we could gush about that all day. We could actually start a reading sprint. That'd be cool. I could keep talking all the time. But let's go ahead and do one. So we'll go until 4:50 my time. And we'll come back in then.
I'm excited.
Woohoo!
Wait, I'm annoying. What are you guys reading? What are you reading, Justin?
I'm reading A Bullet Between Us.
Okay.
Hello. Got to quietly say hello.
So as not to scare everyone.
I know. Love it. Oh, Crystal, finally is reading.
Yes.
All my girls will have read it now. I feel better. It only took a year. It's okay. It was worth it. It was worth the wait because that book is amazing. I finished this. This was good. It was okay. It was okay. I think like the biggest issue that I have is that how do I explain, like, it just has like whiplash all the way through, like from scene to scene. Like there's no like finesse going into situations. It's just like it's like watching a movie where they jump cut into every new thing. And like specifically, I think what really points it out is like a month into their like marriage in this, she like talks to her mom and she's like, we've learned to love each other. It's great. I'm like, after a month? Like maybe you shouldn't have put such a fine point on like how long it's been, because it very much like stands out. So I don't know. It's just one of those where like there's just such huge big feelings with like very like high emotion when there hasn't been any like growth to that point. Like it's just there. So I don't know. So it's tough then when they start throwing around I love you and I'm like, when? Where? When? And then the biggest thing is like this heroine has anxiety, like literally clinical. She takes medicine for it. And once her villain is like there's a villain in here for her specifically. Once this person is confronted, she never needs medicine again. She completely is over her anxiety. It's gone. And I'm like, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. You don't just stop taking that in a drop of a hat. But again, like, I can see why it was fun because they're very much like really high heat. It's kind of sort of a stepbrother. They're literally stepbrother and sister for like a month before they're, before there's like an arranged marriage thing between them. But I was just like, I get why this was fun. I get why this is fun. And I'm not here to rain on anyone's parade for it. But I'm also like, I don't get it. So, yes, I know, Lizelle. Everyone tells me book 2 is better. Everyone said it. And I will read it because I'm intrigued by who the rest of the people are. And she has a list in the back of like who the couple, not who the couple, like who the hero is for the rest of them. And I definitely want to read some of the other ones. So I definitely will.
I do want to pick up some Michelle Hurd because I picked Lifeblood and I got like 20% the way in. And it's like, between two FBI agents, the hero's always going undercover. And I thought there was going to be like a twist to it, but I'm not sure if it's Mafia. Like I was told it was, but I'm not seeing it yet. So I was going to pick another by her because she'll be a new author.
I read the Tears of Salvation, and I also have Tears of Betrayal, and that series has to do with Mafia, but those are the only ones that I knew about. And then I had just seen Taken by a Sinner, but I wasn't sure about, because she has quite a few books.
Yeah.
Because like the Saint series is what Tears of Salvation's in, and this is the Sinner series. So that makes sense. Like there's the Saints and the Sinner series that she has.
Oh, I thought it was the Monarch Academy series.
Yeah. I mean, it's not called that in the back of hers here unless she like renamed it.
I wonder if she renamed it.
Yeah. She might have renamed it when she started this series because Tears of Salvation is Alexi, and then like in this one they mention Carson, who he's like the guy who runs it.
Okay, I need to look at that
because they mention it in here because that's the only like safe place that people can go. You can go stay there to be safe. So yeah, she definitely could have renamed it, but in the back of her book now it's called the Saint series. And then this one will have 5 books.
Okay, so she has 2 different on Amazon. It's called the Saints whatever, and on Goodreads it's Monarchs Academy. I don't know. I don't know which ones.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Her more recent.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if because this one is taking off that she renamed that series so that like that wouldn't
To
surprise
tie it
me.
in. Yeah.
That's
Cool.
That's cool, but that's good for her whenever stuff, Okay, let me see.
How are you liking yours, Justin?
I switched.
Did you?
Her writing style is bothering me, and it's less her writing style rather than the way that she puts words together. Like some of the sentences feel very awkward to me, and I cannot overlook it at this point. Like I just keep picking out little things. And I don't know, like, I don't know if maybe English is her second language. So maybe that's why. Cause like, you know how normally when you talk, you have like a lot of contractions. You don't say like I am all the time. I just keep noticing those things, and it makes the speech to me sound very awkward and formal when they're talking to each other. And it keeps like catching me off guard. Plus, I have some questions. Now, this is at the beginning of the book, and Jen, I do want you to answer this.
Sure.
I'm confused about, so in the beginning, she witnesses a crime, and she has to like run away because she's supposed to be dead, and she has guys after her, and she receives help from somebody, but then she gets texts on a burner phone from somebody who claims to know her mom and like, come to Miami, I'll help you type of thing. How did that person even know what was going on with her? Because he's in Miami, she's from New York, and I'm like, how does he know what's going on with her? Like, is that something that's answered later?
Yeah.
Like, because I'm like, this sounds very suspicious.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just wondering if I had missed that while I was reading the beginning, or it's something that I'm supposed to find out later.
Well, I don't know how far into it you are, or what you know about Elias, because it depends on what you know.
I know who he's associated with.
Yeah, and like it has to do with like the law enforcement part of it.
Like, yeah, and I know I know that he's the chief, but I'm still not.
Yeah,
I don't understand how the chief of police knows what she has gone through in New York from Miami. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know how. Like, who called him to tell him? Because she doesn't know this guy. So I was just wondering how that happened. It just felt like a plot hole, and I was trying to figure it out. Or
like
he was bad, maybe. I don't
know. My point is the police and the mafia are connected.
No, I know, because Elias is connected, but not
and it's more than just
chief,
him.
Isn't right? Oh, okay. I'm 40% in. So that's why I was confused about it. But I just wanted to go to Mafia Mistress at this point. So that's what I did.
No, it's okay. And like, here's what did I say before we even started about this? Like, I don't remember that enough. And I've been recommending it as a book that I love, but there are other people who have not been liking it since I read it. So I could be wrong because I read it.
I think I'm just like, I was just confused on a couple things. And so like, I was just like, I'm just going to switch on something else.
Yeah. No, I think I'm happy for you to read Mafia Mistress. So, okay, let's go through other people. I really don't like that kind of pacing in a book. Yeah. Like me. I finished Toxic, Brittle Vows, Condemned to Love. Great. I love it too. Not Mafia, but I'm speeding through Eyes on Me. Love it. Good. Love it. Book 2 is better. Yes. Yep. I know. I'm sorry, Cheyenne. I'll read the next one. I promise.
Diane.
I will. I definitely want to read, like, she totally sets up the fucking 5th book in a very good way in this one. And I'm like, damn it. And I was like, oh, when's that hero coming? And he's the last one. Of course. She sets that up in this one. And I'm like, thanks. I've seen everybody reading Michelle Hurd, and now I want to try her.
Me too.
Oh, Crystal, I don't know if you like her. Just based on your video of things you don't like in books, I could name 3. So just for you personally. But there are other Michelle Hurd. This is the second one that I've read. So, but based on what you personally, big sis, don't like in books, I don't think that you'll like this one. I didn't have a bad time with it. I'm going to give it 4 stars on my thing. Like, somebody's alarm went off. So, but I don't think that you will love it, Crystal. I don't think you will.
I need to try her.
Oh, I don't like when they use depression and it's super unrealistic. Yeah. And she doesn't have depression. She literally has she has a trauma, and she takes Xanax to relax when she has a stressor, which in my personal opinion, there's nothing wrong with that when it is like prescribed, like it's literally prescribed by her doctor for her to help her. But it comes on because of a person who had done something to her. There's a person was a surprise. I was like, wow, that's interesting that it's this person. But then once this person is dealt with, never brought up again. Her like issues just drop out of the sky. And I'm like, no, I don't believe it.
One thing I will say, Steph, though, that the representation for depression in Eyes on Me was absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I loved that with Garrett.
Yep, that was great. Would the second irreparable book be considered? I don't consider that Duet Mafia. I do not. But like, I know that she's the daughter of somebody, but besides the Mafia kind of like being the reason they're together, neither of them are in the Mafia. So I don't consider that one that. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't think so. Reading Mafia Mistress. Nice. First time joining, listening to The End of Men. Kennedy, who's that by? Never heard of that before. She's from South Africa. From A Bullet Between Us? Is that who we're talking about?
Oh, maybe.
Kay Dawson?
Sometimes in the back it'll say.
Yeah. I wonder. I don't know. I mean, yeah, for me, like I said, that stuff like rarely sticks out at me. I really liked it. I liked his dog. I liked that this was a unique setup. I had a really great time reading.
I will say that the dog is my favorite part so far.
Aww.
So yeah. I like Boris. I like Bo. He's super cute. So I do.
She has
like
a good novella called Plucked that I really liked. That was really cute.
Yeah, and like I will say, see, Stacey's reminding me of it. Like, that's why I'm like not saying anything. But if you don't finish it, that's okay. It's fine if it didn't work. But I remember being kind of blown away by the setup for the series that this one does, by the fact that in like each branch of like legal things, he has family members who legit are in the field. Like he has a lawyer, he has a police officer, he has all of that. Like I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's a better way to do this than having people legitimately in there? You know, they didn't have to buy people off. Like it's their blood that's in there. And I think it's pretty cool. But
no, I definitely do like that aspect of it.
Yeah. But I know for you that like writing style can really kill your enjoyment of a book. So
it can.
That's fair. Like that happens to more people than it doesn't. I'm like a weird unicorn where if you have like a good story, I'll literally ignore like huge typos in a book and all of it. I just won't notice it. But if I don't like the book, I notice like everything.
That's one thing that I don't mind is like typos. Like I understand there's so many times where I've written something and I'm like, wow, I missed all those typos. Like it's just human. But sometimes when like the voice and just the way people speak, it stands out and it's distracting me from the actual story. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for me to like get invested in the couple themselves because I'm just like, that's a weird way to phrase things. And I can't get off. I can't like switch my mind after that.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that comes too of like people who edit your book. I think you need to have like a diverse group if you can. Like a lot of indie authors, you like maybe it's your mom who has to edit your book, or like you can only you know, and you do because if you're editing your own book, like like Grammarly is not going to tell you there's anything wrong with saying like I am. Because that's a proper way to say something, but it's not.
And it might just be me. Like, I just think weird things are being said and nobody else thinks it. Yeah. Stacey said that the writing didn't stick out to her. So
yeah. Jennifer, I don't know how long about it. We'll do at least one more and then we'll see how people feel. Because I'm literally either if I'm not reading on screen with you guys, I'm going to be reading by myself. So we'll see how long people want to go. Finished Cruel Union by Ivy Davis. Ooh, I've never heard of that one before.
I haven't heard of that one either.
Me either.
Nice. Reading Devil in Winter. Well, Stevie, that is a perfectly good excuse.
I love that one.
That is a perfectly fine book to be reading. I've been hearing great things about this too. I just got the book the other day. So
yeah, I have it too.
One of them is a marriage of convenience, and it's like a true marriage of convenience where I think they're going to get like married at the beginning and they're like, yeah, we're just going to be together. It's going to be great. And I'm like, I love that. Because in contemporary, there's not a lot of like actual marriage of convenience.
Because it's like, what are the reasons for the marriage of convenience?
Right. It's either like that. Usually in contemporary, you're seeing that in like a billionaire book, maybe, or mafia. Usually,
right.
It's not just a like CEO is like, oh, I need to have a wife or whatever. So I'm intrigued. Decision time: oldest mafia book in Kindle on laptop or oldest mafia book from KU. Well, I don't think that it matters. I think it's up to you. Like my oldest was on my Kindle. I always go to my Amazon and literally go to my oldest and I go and see what the oldest one I purchased was. That's how I do it. But you can do whether it's like your KU if you want to read a KU so that you can get it cleaned up. So I leave that to your decision. But I purposely put it as oldest in my library because some people do own physical mafia books. Not everyone does. Some people own books. So for me, it was the oldest in my like Amazon library is what I went through. I'm glad I finally read that because for the last like how many readathons, both like Kindle Clear Out and this book has been my oldest. I'm glad I'm freaking got over it because I hated that book, but that's okay. Yeah, Crystal, I'm just looking out for you, sis. I don't think that it'll be for you. There are many others I would recommend first. Love the fine print. Sweet. Yeah, I want to read that one.
Yeah, I've had that holding up a spot for a minute. I need to read it.
I think both of those books are interracial too, aren't they? From what I've seen of the art, I think they both are. From what I've seen of the inspiration posts, I think they're both interracial romances too, which is cool. For sure, the first one is because I just saw like an image board of it, of the couples, so that was cool. Michelle Hurd. Thought you were talking about her.
Oh, South Africa, Michelle Hurd.
No, I didn't have a problem with her like writing style. No. I was talking about Kate.
No, that was me.
Yeah,
not with Michelle Hurd. No, different author.
I didn't have a problem with that. One thing that like dialogue tags when they're always I screamed or I shouted, that's something I notice a lot. These people are literally always screaming at each other. Yeah, I noticed that.
I noticed if there's a lot of exclamation points in the dialogue, I'm like, why is everyone shouting at each other?
That's something like these two literally never said a whispered word to each other. They're always screaming. He does get very cute with her. He absolutely does. I just think it happens very quickly. The End of Men by Taryn Fisher and Will Astor. Okay, cool. I will have to look that up.
Let me screenshot that. I haven't heard of that.
I'm excited for the rest of the series. Yeah, well, I'm excited for her to announce the next book. I was talking about that last night because, like, the next one's supposed to be about the capo, like when the kingdoms fall or whatever that one is. Like, I will definitely.
All the titles for the rest of the series, they're all cool, and I love the cover of that book. Like, that's why I want to like it so much. It's pretty, and I purchased it.
Yeah, I wish that one. Like, I wish there was an audio for that one because that's one of the ones where, like, I feel like when you can speed it up to hear them talk, you don't like notice that as much. So, and sometimes the narrator will even like change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Reading Once Burned, and I don't know why we won't bring up Mateo on this live stream because that'll make some people very unhappy. So we'll just be moving. You know, I do have all of them right here, but it's fine. Only the Mateo books are the only ones I own. I literally
that series.
Yeah, I love it. It's so crazy. Oh, Hani wants to know what you were reading, Tiff.
I'm reading Vicious Union by Jocelyn Soto. This like gorgeous cover. And like, you know, this is why I love readathons. Like I was like posting everybody's like bingo boards. And then I saw this and it was like, Melissa was like, it's Cartel set in Vegas, which is where I live. And I was like, I need to try this. And I'm loving it so far because there are little like Vegas things in there, like the secret pizza place. So that was fun. but it is between, like, Leo is in the cartel, second in command, and then Serena is new to the mafia. She's an outsider, so that fits the prompt. And they're both in Vegas. She's trying to get over an ex, and he's there for business. And the way that they meet up is really sweet, kind of fairy tale like. So I'm enjoying it.
I love that. Yeah, I've been screenshotting a lot of recommendations from other people who are reading and stuff like that. Like, that cover is gorgeous. I've been seeing it a lot. So I'm glad you're reading it so I can hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, because I was like, ooh, this is because I've seen Brought to Air. I've seen it a lot. Mafia Mistress. So I was like, okay, this is, I also saw that first comment about like 4 DNFs, a lot of 1 and 2 stars. Like, that's why I love these readathons, so we can get through the books that like we've been curious about and chuck them out if we don't like them. But I'm hoping for a gem. And this seems fresh. There's also a moment in the beginning of this where it felt like in film when they break the fourth wall, where like Leo is speaking to you as a reader, and I was like, whoa,
cool.
That hasn't happened in a minute, so it's interesting. I'm liking it so far. It feels fresh.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah, I mean, either way, I'm going to be happy with the ones that I read because these are ones that I've owned for a really long time, and they're ones I got for free. So it's not like they're books I paid a lot of money for. And I've tried pretty much all new to me authors for this, or authors I've only read one time. So I don't really consider it like a loss, even if they're 2 or 3 stars, because none of them were extremely painful. Well, the first one, but the other ones weren't like extremely painful. They were still fun.
Well, that one. There was that one.
Keep forgetting that one. I'm already trying to block it out of my mind. But they've been like really unique, and that's always fun when I'm just like, I have not read this. I've never even heard of the Romanian Mob before. That's cool, like that. Even though that book was crazy, the Vicious Prince, like I'm gonna finish that trilogy very soon. I really liked it, but I now have to be a little more careful with my time, just because like I have to physically write in all of these books, and we have like historical and I have book clubs. So it was nice to have like a readathon where I could indulge in these, because otherwise I'm like not really willing to test out on books like that right now. I'm like, between new books coming out, the read along we're doing, the book clubs that I'm in, and like patron stuff, it's like your time gets tight. And this is my full-time job now, and I'm still like, wow, that's a lot of books that I have to read when I make my TV.
It's a busy month, and then Juliet just moves up her book.
I literally told her, I was like, oh, that's so exciting. Crap, there's so many books coming out this month. Okay. Like there wasn't that many in June. So I was like, oh, that'll be good. But also the thing with indie books is that at the start of a month, you don't even know all the books that are going to come out that month.
Exactly.
I'm quickly learning about indie. Like April, I read the most arcs that I read in like the 8 months before, because there was all these books I'd signed up for like months ago that they either had been pushed back and now they were in April, or they were pulled up and now they were in April, and it just was all like, there was a whole dump. I just got a notification that my review is due for a book on Tuesday that I was like, I thought that was coming out like 3 weeks from now. It is coming out.
I thought I had time.
Yeah, I'm like, that one's probably not going to get read, because I'm not even like interested in reading it right now, and I'm going to be visiting my sister for 3 days, so I'm like, I'm sorry, your book's probably not getting read. Sorry. Like, I still want to read that book, but now I'm probably going to wait until I have time. But that's just how it goes, All right, a couple more comments here, and then we'll do another sprint. Just download Vicious Union. Yeah, Dia de Muertos. Yep, love it. One of the books in the Underworld Kings, that one's Dia de Muertos too. There's I think it's Cold Hearted Bastard by Jenica Snow. There's like a party because they're wearing the makeup, and they like have a hot hookup.
Is that a theme? Because in Tears of Betrayal, they have a hot hookup at that party too. And the heroine was wearing the Day of the Dead makeup.
No,
and
it's
so
that one. It's that one then.
Okay, it's that one. It's the Michelle Hurd Tears of Betrayal. I was like, wait, are they all at this party in that series? Yeah, it's the Michelle Hurd Tears of Salvation. I keep saying betrayal. Salvation.
I have to try it. I'm gonna try her. I'm like excited to be in a cartel because I haven't read like the last cartel I read. What was like Pam Godwin's Disclaim?
Yeah,
that was the last cartel book that I read.
Yeah.
So
I still need to read the last 3 books in that series. I have the hardcover and I have the audio form too. I need to read them.
yes,
Those books are so good.
I know.
I'm always hesitant to start the new audiobook because I know that they get like, they're dark, but like Pam Godwin just does it so well. And I'm always hesitant to start it. But then once you start like the audio, especially the audio is really good.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, can't stop. They're so good.
They are.
Yeah. Unshackle, dominate, and
maybe I'll read that on the beach. What next?
Yes.
On the
beach. I can't remember quite what happens in okay, I think I remember what happens in that one. I remember like dominate was like that one was rough for me. That one.
What are the last 3 that I have in that series?
Yeah. Well, that's what it's unshackle, dominate, and complicate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But this cover's really good. Like this cover really makes me want to have all of these covers too.
And I love.
Even though I love
the bundles.
These are not very like great to like read though, because like I reread Van. Is that
Van's book?
Yeah, I reread his book when Crystal was reading it, and like reading this book, like it popped all the pages out because these ones are like
thick.
Yeah. Well, it bulged them, and I was like, I don't want to. So like, I don't actually want to like read these ones.
I still love. I have mine that you got me, Jen, for my birthday. It's beautiful, and I try not to like. I shouldn't even be touching it now because I have makeup on because I don't want to. I don't want to sit.
Oh my gosh, this one has the prison on the back.
Oh my god,
it's so cool. Yeah, this makes me want to have all of them too. Although, like, okay, I don't really like the cover of the first one because that one just freaks me out. The Deliver with his like, that one just freaks me out. But I like a lot of the other ones. But yeah, this one's Cartel.
Yeah, I was like, that's the last Cartel that I read, and this is like a fun little Vegas meet cute. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
but I'm intrigued already.
Girl, I feel bad for you. I literally signed up because I knew she was coming. I got on the list back in December because I knew she was coming this year. So literally I was sticking through because I knew. And it's going to be the 2 books that I want it to be. So I'm like, well, the one book that I want. I'm okay with it.
I was about to say, what do you know the other book? What's the other book? Oh, wait, no.
I know what both of the books are.
You do? Did they say?
Yeah. Oh, I 1000% know what they are. Based on the clues, I absolutely know.
Well, that's what I was confused on because remember she said she was trying to make it like the clues less obvious and stuff. So I didn't know if she was referring to the books or some like other books.
Like they literally showed the cat.
Yeah.
There's literally one of the cat and cinnamon. So that's totally that one. Plus piano was the clue way back when was.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then there was an orange and there was the ocean. And I was like, I know what it is. Like I was like, there's no way it's not. But I do get it. Like, I'm happy because those are my 2 favorite books by her. So I'm happy. But I also think it would have been cool to like do Deliver because nobody.
I would have loved the Deliver one. Like,
if people got on to Deliver, people are scared of Deliver, and they should. They should be scared.
They should be, but in a good way as well.
But if you gave it a beautiful cover and the people in Mystic Box got a hold of it, they would then like binge that series. Like the 2 books they put in there are both standalones, which I understand because they're standalones, but that also doesn't necessarily push people to read more of her books. Like, just saying. Or even Buckle.
Maybe they did standalones too because they've been doing books that are in series and then having to do like the extra big bundles, like the Sierra Simone. They did like the extended version where they did covers for the rest of the series. So, yeah. Maybe they're like, oh my God, we have enough of that. We need to do standalones for a while.
Although I say like, I don't know how they do better than this.
Come on.
I was about to say, I love the Sea of Ruin cover, like already.
I just want this in
beautiful.
hardback too. I think there's a hardback available, but now I'll probably just wait. But I love this book so much. It won't be. It's not going to be this. There's not a single. None of the clues are for that one. The first day people said that because the cinnamon. They were like, do they mean sin for sin? Like people were really stretching, and then I was like, no, he chews cinnamon gum all the time. Like his breath tastes like cinnamon. That's a thing. So anyway, I feel bad for people who didn't get on it, but
I know, I'm so sad.
Also, I'm glad that I literally got on it, and I've stuck it out for these other ones that I like. I don't really care, but it's worth the money to be on the list for people that are coming.
If you don't like them, you just sell them. That's what I do. I'm just like, hey, who was not on the list and wants these? Here you go. And I'll just give it to them for the price I paid.
I mean, Candace, I think it's going to be pretty epic. They said there's going to be gold foiling. And she said that the copy.
Oh, did she say it was going to be on this one?
Yeah.
I thought it was for the future. I thought she was like, what do y'all think of gold foiling for like future? Like, let me look into that. I didn't know it was going to be on this box. Oh, I'm excited.
It was just in the letter because they were like, there won't be a pin for this one, but there will be gold foiling on them.
So excited.
Yeah.
I'm sick right now.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm like, the original cover is gorgeous. That's great. Absolutely wonderful. I like, because for me too, like Torn, I like the original cover of Torn better than the one that came in the last box.
You like the original cover of Torn better? Interesting.
I mean, I do. I like the original cover with the hero and the heroine on it over just it's so
I like the other book box one. I want it so bad, and it's like a unicorn to me. I will never get that one. I don't even remember what book box it was, but
well, and I agree with you on that. Like, I think that one was beautiful. But I didn't like this cover more than the original. I don't think this.
Well, did you see that she is having an alternate cover for Torn and Tide, and it looks very like the one that's in Mystic Box? And I was like, it's the same almost. So if people miss the Torn one, you can buy it on her website. Her new hardcover.
I mean, I might get the Torn because I love Tide. I love Torn and Tide.
Those two are some of my favorite books. Like just
Tide was so unique to me and just so like beautiful.
It was beautiful.
But anyway, we'll stop making Candace feel bad and we'll do another reading sprint because we just talked for a half hour. But now, like I said I was going to do, I'm reading this. I have my audiobook going and I'm starting to annotate this. So I just like immediately, I have not reread this one ever. I've reread all of the other ones except Bloody Heart. I've reread all of her books, but not this one. And like they're introing everybody. She's like, oh, there's Riona. She's kind of a bitch. And like she's talking about everyone. I was like, oh my God. Like, there's Riona over there, and she looks like she has a stick up her ass and like blah blah blah.
I recently reread Stolen Air just because I really was missing them. And I love that. I love seeing I was like Riona. It's like, oh, but I love her. She's so bad.
I know. Yeah. So yeah, I just love it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see them torture each other again. But anyway, all right, let's go till.
Okay.
We'll go 5:55 because I don't like doing like.
Oh, that'll be perfect for me because I have to head out for work right after that. That's perfect.
Perfect. All righty. We'll chat soon. Tiff, are you talking to yourself?
Tiffany.
I'm not used to reading like live. Yes, this is. I was not expecting this to go there. I mean, they are in Vegas, so I mean, one night stand in Vegas. Certain things could happen here, you know, but I'm a little shook.
Well, that's good.
Oh.
I'm like already put way too many tabs in this. So like literally I would write on every page of Sophie's books, so it's very hard to like put a sticky note where I'm writing, because I literally would I would write on every page. But that's okay. I'm giving my patrons their money's worth because I'm writing in the whole thing. So they're just so like, this book is so funny, even though it's serious. Like, it's serious what they're doing, but they're just like, I have to marry that fucking brat. I don't want to marry her. She's so spoiled. Like, they're just like bitching. I love it.
I still find it so funny that was, you know, the first book that I read. And I was just like, well, I had to stop it because I was like, Jen, I'm not liking it. Like, just skip it and keep going. I promise it's okay. And then after I finished it, you're like, okay, so are you going to go back and try it again? And I was like, yes, I'll try it. And then I liked it whenever I went back and I tried it. So,
I think it's just
and
really
it had so much fun. Like you said, it was funny. And I loved it.
That tone is hard to clock though too, because you're like, you don't know, like you're reading it and you're like, is this supposed to be a joke? Is this comedy? Wait a minute. Yeah.
And I think that's what I wasn't getting the first time that I picked it up. Like I was like, am I supposed to be laughing at this? Like, I don't understand their relationship yet. But when I went back, I was pleasantly surprised and I enjoyed their antics together a lot. So
I think I gave it a 4-star, but I also like listening to the audio. They are really like kind of funny with some of it. Like, so it's hard to clock. But then you read Stolen Air and that's a completely different tone. Like, it's a completely different tone. But by the time you finish it and you've seen Callum and Ada together, it's like fun to go back and be like, wow, these two are and it makes Miles make so much sense. Like, Miles he's got the ambition of his dad and the like balls of his mom. Like, I just love it so much. Like, it's so much fun to go back to it.
Man, now I want to go reread a bunch of her books.
I
know. I'm very excited because one of like two of my patrons are like, I want all of the Queens and Monsters, and I was like, gotcha. And someone's like, I want all of Sophie's books. I'm like, okay.
Say less, thanks.
Right.
Say less. We're here for it. Like, let's go. Let's do it. Okay, what are some people saying? Go ahead, Justin. I'm just looking at people's comments.
Are you like Mafia Mistress?
I am 18% in, and I will say that I'm laughing because I'm remembering all the things that Jen was complaining to me about. But I'm having a good time because, like, I think I was forewarned about all like the things, like the pet peeve things that Jen was just like, I don't know about this, and so I know about them already, and I'm just like, this is funny. I don't know. I'm just enjoying it. it. So I'm good. I'm good.
Because I already want to reread those ones. Like, I want to reread those ones. And I'm very excited because the third one's going to be it's about someone else. It's about someone that you'll know by the end. Like,
wait, what?
You haven't seen you should look up the teaser for the third one. Like, it's in the back of the book, Tiff, in the back of Mafia Darling. It's the person.
Like, did I miss this? I miss this?
The like villain, because it's called Mafia.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So it's gonna totally like change to something else. But I think with Mafia Mistress too, like, if someone had told me this is like crazy, I would have went into it with a better attitude with the first one.
I'm so excited. That makes sense. I'll be quiet.
No, I know that guy.
I kind of love this.
Yeah, that guy. That's gonna be an interesting one to read. I'm very
because there's a villain and you get a little snippet, and it's like when you get a perspective change that's unexpected in Mafia Darling. I was like, why is this here? And then with that, you realize like what we always do. What do we love? A redemption arc. Through his perspective, I'm like, oh, I can get what he was trying to do. So anyway, I'm done. Okay. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. And And again, like I just wasn't expecting the arc that they were going to go through. So anyway, we've talked about enough. We mentioned enough. It's a thing. But okay, let's see what other people are saying. I will get
Oh, I have to head out for work, you guys.
okay.
Tiff, it was so good talking with
It
you.
was good to see you both. Enjoy the readathon, everyone.
Bye-bye, friends.
Bye.
Actually, look at some people. Okay, they're talking about Eyes on Me. Yes, Garrett has a wonderful journey. I love him. The strawberry.
I need to read those soon.
Yes, you will love those. I'm very confident about those. I'm strongly confident about those. Where was it going? Yeah, the strawberries. I'm very excited to reread that stuff. Just to enjoy all of it. Like, I mean, I will say, like, when I read that scene, I was like, wow, did she really do that?
You're
Like,
trying to kill him? What?
Yeah. But it's crazy, Whitley, though, because, like, not all of her books have moments like that. Some of them do have, like, really funny moments kick in, and other times they're pretty serious the whole time.
Yeah, but I like that she can do both, you know, because it just makes all the stories feel very unique.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already, like, I was cracking up at them because they're so, I will say, too, like, this one, it almost feels like a new adult, the way that they act. Like, even Callum, who he's 30, like, he is spoiled, too. Like, they're the kids of a generation of Mafia that has had it really good. Because
like they haven't been through like war or anything. Like it's been pretty cush. And then
their dads are like, you could literally start a war. You don't understand what a war is. So we've lived through it. It's not happening. So they are like, they're childish in those aspects of like.
And the rest of the series is a little bit more serious. Like I feel like they go through more serious things. But
except for Nero too. He has like when I meet him again in here, I was like, oh yeah, you're fucking trouble. This is the trouble. But read Brittle Prince. Yeah. Try it again, Warda. Now that you finish everything, read it again. Because now there's not like that heavy weight of a series starting. Because I think like we expect
there's lots of expectations when you start a new series, especially when lots of people have been reading it. So you feel like I have to like it from the very first. And sometimes you don't, and that's okay. But
Yep. In his possession is a black mafia romance. Ooh. I'm gonna write that.
Ooh. Wait, I think I own that.
Do ya?
Maybe. Sometimes I buy stuff whenever people are like, oh my God, it's so good. I'm like, ooh, cool. And then I just keep them.
Crystal answered Monica. Yes, Sea of Ruin is an indie historical romance. Absolutely.
I do own it. Oh wait, it's a cover change. What?
Okay.
I am confusion. Yeah, this one.
Oh, okay. I've definitely seen that cover before.
I feel like someone like specifically recommended this to me, and I just bought it. It's like cool. Yeah, this is a dark romance. Okay, cool.
Savage Hearts, 5 stars. Whoop whoop. Started A Kiss of Venom. Ooh, nice. I started Taken by a Sinner during the last sprint. After the discussion, switched to Corrupt Educator. Oh, man. But, like, Corrupt Educator, I'll be interested to see what you think, Ruth, of that one. That one is crazy. That's a principal and student romance, but it's Mafia.
Ooh.
It's a Mafia.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's the one, though, like, I don't know if you'd like it, but you could try it. It's a quickie. That's one that I reviewed.
I have so many books I feel like I have to catch up on. Like you've recommended to me, other people are like, oh, when you have free time, think about this one.
Right. I finished Taken by a Sinner and finished Beautifully Cruel. Yeah. Love that duet. Loving Once Burned. Elise was a big surprise. Oh, yes. Yeah. Elise gets a bit of a spine in that one because it's like, Mia, would you stop flirting with my fucking man? It's like, Mia, stop flirting with everybody's man. Okay, we all agree. Just stop doing it. But Elise was good. I started to love Ada the more I saw her. Yes. She is a great sister. I will say that even in this one, I love seeing how close all the Gallo siblings are. That like Dante is just like at his wit's end with these kids. I mean, they're grown-ups, but like with these kids.
Yeah.
And like, you know, they're all Sebastian's just like, yeah, I'll come along. And Nero's like, let's go. I'm gonna fuck this woman in their dining room because I'm a badass. I'm like, okay, so cool. The versatility of Sophie's writing. Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to see her fantasy. Like, I'm trying to keep my expectations realistic, but
I know. It's like,
I can hit that too. I'm very excited. So
I feel like when you love so many books by a certain author, that's when it's hard to not compare, you know, their new books to like the books that you've loved by them. So I'm trying to like keep expectations low. Trying to just be like, whatever it is, it's just is.
Well, and there's
No
even another layer of like, people know how much we love her. Like, so when there's a new one of her books, it's like, there's high stress. It's a high stress situation for me because I want to love it so much. And I also know people want me to love it so much. And like I felt that way with, you know, with Juliet's books too. I'm always terrified to read them, even though I'm excited. I'm always like, I want to love it. I want to love it. And so
there's always the risk when you don't love it as much as the other ones. And it's like,
right. Well, and part of mine
sometimes.
Yeah, part of mine is like, I know I said I cried a lot, but part of the crying is that I was just so like relieved how great I loved it, you know? So then I'm also crying like, oh, so good. I can just say how
crying in relief.
I don't have to come up with a fancy way to say that how I feel about it, because I can just honestly be like, friend, I loved your book. It's so good. And I can just do that like that. Cause that's how I want to feel. I never don't want to love something, you know? So
I do kind of have like for favorite authors when they have new releases, like I have that, like, it's that fear, like, oh my God, what if it's not going to live up to my expectations? So I totally feel that.
We feel that way about Kennedy each time.
Yeah.
Like I'm always
every time, like, can you beat it?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of those where like, as soon as other people are reading it, I like have to like, I can't hear what they're going to say, whether it's good or bad. I'm like, I can't.
Well, that's why it took me so long to read the Kingmaker series, because I didn't have time to read it when it released. And then I started seeing people talking about it. And even though I bought it, I was just like, I just can't read it right now. I have too much expectations for this now. And it took me forever, like 6 months to read it after that.
I did that with someone else recently. Which author was that? I don't know. But yeah, the ones that I really love, I either have to be the first person to read their book, or I just have to ignore everyone for a long time to read it. Because I'm like, I either have to be the first person so that there's only my opinions, or not. So like with Safe Hex, I finished it and I immediately wrote my review, because I was like, I want my review to be the first one that everybody sees, and I don't have to like listen to what anyone else says. I was like, this is the first review that exists for this book. Whereas
every time I go to your stories right now, I'm like skipping everything. I'm like, I don't even want to hint. I know. If I see Safe Hex, I'm like, nope.
I'm not posting.
I don't want to know.
I'm not posting more about it. Hopefully you, when you read it on like Monday, when you read it on vacation.
It's going to be my car. It's going to be my car read. So I'll have 6 hours to read in the car.
Well, girl, you better have a good poker face in that car. I'm just saying.
Oh no, they know that I read romance, and
well, I don't care if it's one thing when people know that you're reading romance. It's another to be, I just mean physically confined to a car when you read it. Like,
okay, I'm prepared.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Okay, you're both running SJM
for the first time. Yes. Yeah. That was my first SJM read last year. So
yeah, it is.
And I'm excited to reread that one. I haven't reread it yet. So
yeah. I've reread it many times, but I'm very excited to read ACOTAR. That's my next one I'm going to read, which I'll read next week. And I'm excited to listen to the audio and that's the series that like specifically
I'm so excited about the audio now.
Specifically the first 2 books, I know them backwards and forwards. So I'm really excited for like the collaborative
discussions.
Audio. Yeah, well, and to talk about it, because this time I'm really going to be focusing in on all the clues. So I'm very excited about doing that. So I feel the same with final books and series. Yes, there are so many series, Stacey, that I've never finished. because I didn't want to. I also do that with TV shows. I know that's random. There's a lot of TV shows I love that I never watched their final season because I just was terrified. Oh yeah, I would do it all the time. I do it all the time because I just wouldn't pick it back up again when it would come back for its final season because I'd be like, I can't do it.
I can't say goodbye.
Yeah, I did that with both the Vampire Diaries and the originals, and
for Vampire Diaries, I just kind of fell away from watching the TV show.
Mhm.
But when I was hearing like people being like, "Oh my God, it's the final episode ever," and so I came back and I watched the final episode without any context. I was like, I have no idea what's been going on for the past 2 seasons, but yep, I'm here, and I just watched the final episode.
Yeah, it got, like a lot of stuff does, it got a little bit crazy. It's getting super dark here because it's supposed to rain, even though it's only 6 o'clock. Okay, let's get
bright in here. So hot.
I know. Well, it has started to heat up. Like, I definitely was like, I don't usually have to put deodorant on in my house. Sorry for TMI, but I was like, I need to put some of that on today because I'm not ready to turn my air conditioner on yet because once I do, I'll have to like clean it out, you know. But I was like,
mine's kicking. Mine's on.
Well, but you live in the muggy swampness of.
I do.
You have to have it.
Yep.
But anyway, my problem with the first 2 books, reads too young for me. Sure. Yeah. Nope. That's fair.
I can see that.
I mean, I don't think the second book reads as young, but that's me. But I do think the first and the third.
Because Nessa herself is just a little young. And I wouldn't say naive, but she's just very removed from the Mafia world, you know?
Yeah. But the themes of that one are so heavy that it didn't feel young. Because there can be a young character and a story can be heavy.
Yeah, I would say overall, I really enjoyed, obviously. I mean, I keep rereading it, Stolen Hair.
The first and the third one, though, felt young to me. So I agree with that. But I haven't read this yet, Komal, but it is actually high on my TV.
Oh, Jen, am I frozen or are you frozen? Jen, is it me or is it Jen? It's Jen. Okay. I haven't read Kingdom Fall either, but hey.
My computer froze, so that's cool.
Okay. Perfect. She's back.
Good. Hi, people. We'll get rid of this one.
I could never tell if it's me because sometimes it is me.
Right.
I'm notorious for that.
No, when I use my other when I use my like older computer, sometimes once we get past like an hour and a half, it gets a little.
It's like, I'm done. Thanks.
Right. But that's okay. We are almost done. I was just trying to go through everybody. Oh, everyone's like, Jen.
Because I was asking, I was like, is it me? Am I frozen or is it Jen?
No, it's me. It's always weird when you're like a guest though, too, because you aren't in control of anything. So, what was I saying before that I left?
You were talking about the A. Zavarelli.
Oh, yeah. So she has a couple contemporary books that I really loved. And then I found out she did Mafia. Yeah, and she has that Mafia series everybody loves too, like the like Crow and.
That's the one that I read a couple years ago, and those were the only books that I've still read by her. I still haven't gone back to try some more.
Yeah. So I definitely want to try that one. I read my first Juliet book last month, and I can't wait to continue. Sweet.
Yay.
Oh yeah. Okay, Monica. Yeah, this is why I wanted to read it because it's a single parent, and then it's a nanny romance. I believe. I think. Yeah, because I think it's a nanny romance, and that's why it was high on my list. Is because I believe that it was a nanny and a single parent. So yeah, and there was an audiobook for it too. So, oh, this person said your ACOTAR videos, how I found you, Jessin.
Oh, that's so fun. Yay. My first time reading ACOTAR. That's awesome.
Those are fun. I have the same problem with TV series. Yeah, it's just weird. I just don't like stuff to be over. So, I can't watch the last episode of Friends. See, strangely, I have watched the last episode of Friends many times. That was an event because I was a child. Like, I was a child when the last season of that. And my mom, like, she bawled. My mom bawled when it was over.
My mom did too. My mom always has Friends playing when I go to her house because it always plays in the afternoon and it's always on there. And it played like a couple months ago, and we were all just like sitting in the living room, like, oh my God, felt like it ended again.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, well, thanks for coming. I mean, look, we went over 2 hours already. That was cool. And yeah, tomorrow we'll have the wrap-up show. I did this spiel yesterday too, but thanks for coming to hang out. And I hope some of you who haven't had some good books that you find some. And yeah, I'm going to keep reading Brutal Prince. And then maybe I'll spin my spinner wheel one more time. But otherwise, I'm going to go to Brutal Vows and start that one too. So we'll see how I feel. If I feel adventurous, I'll try another spinner wheel, but otherwise I'm just going to reread books. So
that sounds perfectly fine. I will probably be messaging you once I get further into this. So
yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm glad you have the right attitude of like, just be fun, because they do. They're bonkers and then they grow up. So
well, I'm glad that I know like pretty much everything that's gonna happen. So like
right.
I'm in the right frame of mind to read all that, and it's just enjoyable.
Well, she just has that, like, the thing I think is smart about the author is that it is on purpose that they act the way they do. And that's what like when I was reading Mafia Mistress, I was like, wow, this author is like, what is she doing with them? You know, where you feel like they don't realize how frustrating they are. And then it becomes clear that she does realize how frustrating they are. And it was on purpose. And then I'm like, perfect. Okay, that's fine. That's fine then. But all right, I'll go ahead and end this. Thanks for joining, everyone. Have a wonderful day.